Congress demands ABC News James Goldstein explains Epstein Coverup. Oh, this is going to go bad for the ABC News, isn't it? Speaking of Epstein, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's a Republican from California, and a pair of other Republican lawmakers are demanding the ABC News explain why it killed a bombshell report on damning allegations against deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. In a letter to ABC News President James Goldston, McCarthy, House Judiciary Committee Ranking Member Doug Collins, who's also a Republican from GA, I'm not sure where GA is, and the House Foreign Affairs Committee Ranking Member Michael McCulloch, who's Republican from Texas, where they are deeply concerned that the victim in search of justice went to ABC News, provided information and an interview, and then ABC News choose to bury the truth. The letter existence was first reported by journalist Megan Kelly, who shared it to her Instagram page. McCarthy, Collins, and McCulloch criticized the network for possibly aiding human traffickers and call on Goldstein to turn over the Good Morning America co-host Amy Robach's interview with Epstein accuser Virginia Graffetto, I might be mispronouncing that, by the way, to congressional investigators for review. ABC News initially responds to the subsequent actions, revealed that their priorities to identify and hold accountable the individuals who released the video to the public. The lawmakers write, we believe that uncovering the source of the information is incomparably less important than the future possibility, the possibility of exposing the source of human trafficking operations. That to me is a very good sentence. We're not really worried about your leaker. We're more worried about the fact that you seem to not care about human trafficking. So earlier this month, Project Veritas released an undercover video which Robach is seen telling the producer that witnesses brought information regarding Epstein, which also implicated former President Bill Clinton and Britain's Prince Andrew, but the network squashed its explosive story. I've had this interview with Virginia Guthrie, Robach is explaining, of the alleged Epstein victim. We will not put it on the air. I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is stupid story. The palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways, she continues. I had it all 3 years ago. A clip of Robach's complaint was saved in ABC News' internal video clip library by Ashley Bianco, a then junior producer at the network. Bianco was fired from CBS News, who had aired in recent weeks after Project Veritas published the video. She was vehemently denied leaking the clip or doing anything with it the day after it was recorded. ABC News brass is scrambling to hunt down the staffer behind the leak, even searching through employees' inboxes and conducting interrogations, according to the New York Post page 6. Project Veritas says the source still works for ABC News. Oh boy. It's funny, you know, if it had been a Trump administration leaker, they would have been giving the guy a medal. But because it's one of their leakers, oh my god, we're literally going to go through and conduct something that is similar to the Inquisition. Work that one out. So McCarthy sends a letter to ABC demanding information on killer Epstein's story. So House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy sent a letter on Sunday to ABC News demanding answers surrounding the allegations. It's pretty much everything that we just read. So this Epstein story is not quite dead yet. I must admit, I'm impressed. I thought it would have been gone by now. I thought they would have tried to bury it as soon as they can. But it seems like the Republicans are well behind the idea of pushing it. We're to the point where we actually have Republicans sending out 23 tweets, who are also going through, and if you look at the first letter of each of the start of the tweets, it spells out Epstein didn't kill himself. Let me see if I can find a video news article. Here it is here. So this is a few days old, but it's relevant to what we're talking about, so we can talk about it. So Representative Paul Goshra's tweets spells out a conspiracy theory. No, really. Is it really a conspiracy theory? I don't know. In what instance is it no longer a conspiracy theory against Epstein and more of a conspiracy theory that it's actually against the mainstream media who doesn't believe it? Like, for example, right, you've got two people, two camps. The deep state, the military industrial complex, the media. They're all the same, aren't they? But yeah, the media going through claiming that Epstein's death was suicide. You have everybody else practically under the sun literally saying, no, we don't believe this. You're full of, you know what, his death is completely conspicuous. Now, the mainstream media is calling everybody who's looking into Epstein or thinks Epstein's death is not suicide. They like to think of him as a conspiracy theorist. But the fact is that the media claiming that Epstein killed himself, they're actually the minority, see ya. The majority of people, I would imagine, actually believe that something suspect is actually going on when it comes to Epstein. In fact, Don Jr. was even asked about this, and I am scrambling to find the clip. I saw this earlier today. So I can't use my account. I was on GamersCap, the other account. Donald Jr. Trump, maybe? He was in a interview, like a radio interview. And they asked him about Epstein. Very quickly trying to find it for you guys, because what he said was really interesting. Here it is here. Right, got it. So, let's talk about this.
Do you really think Epstein killed himself?
It's funny because this is one of those things, you know, if whatever I say, it's a lose, right? But, man, there's a lot of coincidence there.
Yes.
You know, when I see, you know, I'm not going to say yes or no, but, you know, a guy who's there, he's magically then, you know, within hours of being, you know, off of suicide watch, the two cameras that are on him happen to go out. The two guards just happen to... Man, it seems like a lot of coincidence. You know, they try to make Epstein, you know, they tried to make it about Trump. they don't talk about like the 45 times, Clinton's at the island with him with, they.
So just on that, I think it was actually like 28, not 40 something times. So I'm going to fact check Donald Jr. I know he was speaking hyperbole, but he was wrong. And I think it was actually 6 cameras, not 2. I think there was 2 in his cell. There was some in the hallway that also don't supposedly work. I think there was actually 6 cameras in total.
Say, well, he met Trump at a cocktail party one time. Look, we got you. I'm like,
didn't your dad boot him out of the?
Yeah,
out of the
he
place?
was literally thrown out of Mar-a-Lago because of some of the rumors and all of this stuff. So, and that's the problem. The news cycle, whether it's Ukraine. Like, I've been talking, like, go look at my stump speeches. Like, I've been talking about Ukraine and the corruption there and all that nonsense for like a year. You know when it got mainstream media pickup? When they could make it about Trump. Epstein. It's been a problem for a long time. This has been like a de facto thing. Whether, Matt Lauer at NBC, all these things are, they've been in the rumor. When you can somehow try to make it about Trump, or when they're no longer in power to be able to do your bidding, that's when it becomes news. And so, they don't talk about those things. They only become news when you can somehow use it as a way to own Trump, and we got him. And so, it's a problem.
So that was actually Trump Jr. on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Ellie is also saying it was on Fox News as well, so he might have also been talking about it on Fox News. But that's the clip I saw there. Look, at the end of the day, I think he was very careful what he said and what he didn't say. Because at the end of the day, it's... this is how people go missing. Start talking about this sort of stuff. So at the end of the day, look, I like the fact that he brought it up. I like the fact that Donald Jr. mentions it and talks about it. I like the fact that he alluded to the fact that he thinks it was a load of, him killing himself. I just don't think he obviously can go through and actually say anything. Even if he did know, which I don't think he does. You need to be louder. Oh, sorry to hear that, guys. My microphone's all the way up. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day that I don't think Donnie Jr. thinks it's Trump killed himself. Epstein killed himself. Barely hear you. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I have been playing around with my desk and moving things around, so maybe it's the microphone. I'll have a look at it afterwards. I can't do anything at the moment, but yeah, after the show I'll have a look. As for Ellen also has a very good point. She talks about the coroner. So the coroner that went through and actually did the autopsy for Epstein, he's a well-renowned autopsy person, coroner. He even suspected that Epstein didn't commit suicide. He said that the breaking of the neck bones was more into line with... Okay, so Sister Ellen, she just needs to turn her down. Basically he's saying that at the end of the day, he was saying that the breaks in the neck bones and stuff like that generally are consistent with strangulation and not murder. And this guy's a well-respected coroner, so 3 places, yeah. So there's a lot of interesting facts that came out regarding Epstein's committed suicide, brackets. I don't think he did. I'll tell you now, the high road bone, that's it. At the end of the day, I think he was killed. I think he was killed because he knew too much. He knew who was involved in his little scandal. He had all the names. And I think at the end of the day, they tried to silence him because they were concerned. And yeah, I really honestly do believe. I would not be surprised in the slightest if Epstein was killed. I would be more surprised if he did commit suicide. But yeah. Look, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I don't know. I just like the fact that they go on and they're trying to make it out. They're trying to make it out that Epstein conspiracy is, it's just... who honestly believes him killed himself at this stage? Like, come on, really? I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.